Have you ever felt like your financial future is something that just happens to you, like you're not really in the driver's seat? Well, we're about to change that. We're going to break down how investing isn't some secret club for Wall Street experts. Nope. It's the single most important tool for anyone, and I mean anyone, who wants to turn their hard-earned savings into real long-term wealth. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we have to talk about a huge problem that's kind of hiding in plain sight, and it has everything to do with that money you think is so safe and sound in your bank account. You know, we're always told to save, save, save. But what if that's only half the story? And what if it's not even the most important half? Now, I know that sounds a little dramatic, right? But stick with me and let's actually look at the numbers. While the balance in your savings account might be staying the same or maybe going up by a few cents, its actual power, what that money can buy you, is almost certainly going down every single day. And the culprit? It's a little thing called inflation. This chart right here shows you just how serious this is. Let's say you have a fixed income of $50,000 a year. Well, in just 20 years, its buying power gets slashed by 45%. That means your 50 grand can only buy what about $27,000 buys today. Your money is literally losing its strength every year just by sitting still. So if just saving your money isn't going to cut it, what's the alternative? This brings us to probably the most powerful force in all of finance, and it really highlights the massive opportunity you're missing out on if you do nothing. You can think of it as the huge cost of inaction. Let's make this super real with an example. Meet Diego and Alexis. They both put away $3,000 a year for 20 years. Diego, he plays it safe and puts his in a savings account that earns 1% interest. Alexis, on the other hand, invests in a pretty standard portfolio with a 6% average return. The difference? It's staggering. After 2 decades, Diego has almost $69,000. But Alexis? She has over $128,000. That's nearly double Diego's amount, just by making one different choice. So what's the secret sauce here? What's the magic behind Alexis's success? It's a concept that Albert Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world: compound interest. It's not just your money making money, it's the earnings from your money making their own money. This creates this incredible snowball effect that just gets bigger and bigger, and it can seriously speed up your wealth growth over time. And to really hammer this point home, just look at this number. If Alexis keeps investing that same $3,000 a year for a total of 40 years, that $120,000 she put in could grow to nearly $500,000. That is the insane power of compounding. The key thing to get here is that most of that final amount isn't the money she saved. It's the money her money earned for her. Okay, so by now you probably get why compounding is so incredible, and you're thinking, all right, I'm in. But what do I actually invest in? The great news is you absolutely do not need to be some Wall Street whiz to get started. Let's break down the basic investing toolkit into 3 super simple building blocks. First up, we have stocks. The easiest way to think about a stock is that you're buying a teeny tiny piece of a company. You're becoming a part owner. So if that company does well, if it grows and makes a profit, then the value of your tiny piece goes up. Simple as that. Next up, we've got bonds. Now, if stocks are all about ownership, bonds are about being a lender. You are essentially loaning your money to a big company or even the government. In return for that loan, they promise to pay you back your money plus interest over a certain amount of time. It's generally seen as a bit less risky than stocks. And finally, we have funds. Now, this is where it gets really, really convenient, especially for beginners. Instead of trying to pick out individual stocks or bonds yourself, you can just buy into a fund. Think of it like a pre-packaged basket that holds lots of different investments all at once. It's an instant way to spread your money out and not put all your eggs in one basket. Now, when you look at funds, you'll mainly hear about 2 types. You've got actively managed funds, where a professional is actively trying to pick winners, but that usually comes with higher fees. Then you have passively managed funds, like index funds, which just try to match a market index, like the S&P 500. For most long-term investors, the super low fees of index funds make them a really, really attractive choice. So, we've covered the why you should invest and the what you can invest in. Now for the most important part, the how. You might be thinking this is where it gets complicated and scary, but I promise you it's so much simpler than you think. Let's just walk right through the steps. Seriously, it all comes down to these 3 simple steps. First, you choose a broker. That's just the company that gives you access to the stock market. Second, you open an account with them online. And third, you fund that account by transferring money from your bank. Honestly, the whole process is not much different than opening a new savings account online. And don't get stressed about choosing a broker. So many of them are designed specifically for beginners. A lot of research points to platforms like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Robinhood as really great places to start. They're known for being easy to use, having low fees, and offering a ton of helpful resources. And as you get ready to start, please remember this one crucial piece of wisdom. So many people get paralyzed trying to find the perfect time to invest. But all the evidence shows that time in the market is way more important than timing the market. The sooner you start, the more time that snowball of compounding has to grow. Consistency is your best friend. So there you have it. That's the blueprint for turning your savings into real wealth. You know why just saving isn't enough anymore. You've seen the absolute magic of compounding in action, and you have the practical, simple steps to actually start investing. The only question left is, what kind of financial future are you going to build for yourself?